Hello and welcome, Silrace here with Star Citizen, and this is my impression video on Aurora MR variant. However, I do not own this ship. It is still flyable at the moment I'm making this video, so I can give you some quick impressions on actually flying this thing and all that other stuff, but I cannot show this ship in my hangar, to be precise, so this is going to be a little bit shorter than my usual impression videos on the ships and all that stuff. So, Aurora MR is a one-man ship, and they say that its focus is supposed to be interdiction, so it's supposed to have a little bit of carrying capacity and some combat capability and all that stuff. So it's like a combination of things, essentially. And Aurora MR also happens to be part of one of the cheapest package deals if you wanna buy into the game. So yeah, you might get this ship, which is one reason why I'm doing this video anyways. So Aurora MR is, well, one-person ship, which is not very quick, in all honesty. It's like, that top speed is 150. So it's not going to win you any races or anything like that against an actual racing ship. But it's still a ship which can probably do you a whole lot of good in the game itself, because it can do a few different things, and if nothing else, you can take someone along and go for a ride outside of the space station to show off what the space looks like, basically. So, couple things on this cockpit. Well, let's take a look, properly look around the cockpit, shall we? So the cockpit is really open like this. You can see all over you, which is very nice and nifty. There are some danger things here as well. The cockpit looks, in general, very good. However, obviously this much, well, glass, plexiglass, well, Durasteel glass, whatever is it going to be actually called, it's kind of dangerous, basically. You have collide with something and one of these panels is pretty much broken, and in combat, obviously, you have a massive, well, you can be seen from every direction, the pilot that is, and be shot at from every direction, because, well, like I said, you can be seen. Also, speaking of combat, these beams, which there is a whole lot, like if I go into the first person view here, look at how much those beams actually obstruct your view. You can, in combat situation, especially at longer distance, you can definitely lose entire ships behind these beams when you are flying in first person, watching out of your cockpit. Another thing which might take a little bit of getting used to depends on, well, how you look at all this stuff. But that little lip, which you can see at the very top of the cockpit here, which it's this lip here which I'm looking at the moment. For the first time I flew Aurora, I always thought, like, well, I was flying around in here. And then a couple times I was like, oh, there is a rock looming ahead, about to hit the top of my cockpit, but it's actually that lip. So something to pay attention to, so that might distract you the first few times you fly this thing, because you suddenly notice that, oh, there is a looming rock up there. So, yeah. Let's take a look at the Aurora from the outside while I am stationary here. So the Aurora is this kind of a ship, as you can see. It is kind of nifty looking. I personally really like this look, alright? So it looks like a ship which is designed for space, instead of having fixed wings and whatnot. This is probably not going to be able to do, well, land on actual planets. Instead, it's basically very likely to be a full mode spaceship only. So another angle, this is from the top, and as you can see, it looks nifty. I do like the look of Aurora, in all honesty, and that's one reason why I own one of them. And of course, you have this ugly person piloting the ship from inside the cockpit. Basically, what is the Aurora really worth for you? That's the big question though, because in all honesty, the Auroras as a ships don't really have anything else than a need as cheap ship going for it. They don't. At least the MR with its interdiction focus and whatnot. You know, sure, you have a bit of a jack of all trades ships, but it's not going to win you any races. It's probably not going to win you any fights against proper combat ships, and it's not going to haul you cargo to trade in any large quantities. So you grab Aurora to be able to look around. That's how I view it, because Aurora does look quite nice, and if you happen to enjoy the looks, then you might grab it just for that. If not, no one ever forces you to spend real money on this thing, because it will probably be available once the game actually releases. As I said, the Aurora MR is not going to win you any races, but I can't wait for the game to be released, because I wanna do Aurora only races, as in set up a racing course or whatnot and restrict it to Auroras only, because that will be hilarious and fun and other things. So thank you very much for watching.